Hi, my name is Colin Shaw from Foresight Engineering, and I'd like to spend a few moments talking to you about token budgeting. You might ask, what is token budgeting? And this is basically thinking through how many tokens are available to you using a particular LLM and considering what the problem is that you're trying to solve and determining how many tokens you would like to use to try to solve that problem, ensuring that you're making good use of those tokens as well as not overusing and overstretching the capability of the LLM. So within your prompt, and when you're considering tokens, one recommendation is to split your prompts up to atomic ideas. And by that, what I mean is sometimes you're thinking about solving several steps. Maybe you're extracting some piece of information out of a document, then you're going to use that along with the document to do something else, and then you're going to use the results of that along with the document to do yet another thing. The core idea here is that you need to be being thoughtful and aware of what you can and can't do in any one particular step. So think about it in terms of the atomic steps that you need to take. That's one good way of thinking of it. Another idea is think about this mantra: combine for context, split for clarity. So what does that mean? That means if you need more context in order to solve a problem, and maybe you have three prompts that are working together to do it, but you need more context around the solution for every one of those, maybe you should consider combining them. On the other hand, if you have something that's really diving into a very niche and specific aspect of problem solving, some extremely specific kind of data extraction from, document or whatever, possibly you should split those for clarity. Your LLM will generally have better attention and it will work better if you split some of those kind of tasks up. So just be thinking about what your goals are as you're trying to solve this. Also be thinking about how many tokens it's using. Most of your APIs are going to have the ability to give you a sense of how many tokens they used. So use typical representative samples and understand how many tokens typical use cases are actually using. Then you can compare it with what the maximum number of tokens are for that particular model, how it's performing on your particular problem, all that sort of thing. Another thing that you might consider as well, especially for the more complex problems, particularly if they have multiple stages that you believe that they go through. This is kind of part of the combined for context idea, things where you're integrating stages for a combined context because that's really the atomic unit of solving the problem. Consider injecting intermediary messages to that LLM while it's running. This is totally possible. You can do it however you want. You can do it maybe if you're using MCP with tool usage, whatever. But you can monitor the token use and then submit messages that are alerting the LLM to how many tokens it's used and if it needs to maybe hurry up in the process or move to the next step of the process, etc. So anyway, basic recap: think about the tokens, think about your problem, budget your tokens, and then consider splitting it up or combining it depending on your problem and the prompt that you're using, as well as the LLM. And consider for complex atomic prompts possibly having an intermediary message injection system. Thank you. Colin Shaw, Foresight Engineering. It's been a pleasure.